You will fail your way to success. There's a really good quote, and I don't exactly know who it's by, but I just know it goes like this. Fail early, fail often, fail forward. A lot of the time, people have a really negative relationship to failure. They see failure as the end, right? Something that they don't want to experience. Now, the reality is failure isn't the end. Failure isn't something that you should actually avoid. Failure is something that you should strive to experience. Now, the reason I say that is because firstly, if you're experiencing failure, you're more than likely outside of your comfort zone. And as we all know, the comfort zone, as much as it's a beautiful place, nothing grows in there. So if you're failing, that's a pretty good indicator that you're outside of your comfort zone. You're outside of your current capacity to achieve things within, the range of your skill set and whatnot. So if you're failing, first and foremost, you're outside of your comfort zone. That's a good indicator that you are on your way to success, whatever that means for you. Secondly, failure is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to get better moving forward. You see, we are like trial and error learning machines. Humans literally learn through trial and error, okay? Look into cybernetics, specifically psycho-cybernetics. How we learn, how we adjust, how we evolve is literally through micro failures and micro adjustments. Let's say you are someone who wants to learn how to shoot a three-pointer in basketball, right? So you're standing in the spot you're meant to stand for the three-pointer, and you are shooting the hoop, right? You're throwing the ball at the hoop. You fail 40 of those shots, but after each failure, you learn something. Oh, I did, you make micro adjustments. Oh, I put too much power into this direction, or, I shouldn't jump when I throw, or maybe I don't know, should flick my wrist a little bit like this. I'm not a basketball player. It's just an example. But every time the individual throws the ball and they fail, they make a micro adjustment. They might not even be conscious of this, but they just make a little adjustment, just a little shift in their, form to throw the ball. And so through all these failures and all these micro adjustments, they're getting better and better and better, literally like 0.1% of the time, but they are getting better. And that's why I say fail early, fail often, fail forward. The quicker you can fail, the quicker you can expose yourself to these micro failures, the quicker you're going to be able to make the micro adjustments, which are going to get you more aligned with the direction and just in general the alignment that success requires. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. You need to actually be seeking failure, as long as the failure doesn't obviously completely throw you off course and just discourage you. It needs to be like a micro failure of sorts. Don't bite off so much where that failure is going to fucking destroy your entire plans and you're going to have to rebuild everything. But the failure should be relatively small so you can make a micro adjustment and continue forward. And it literally goes for anything. Like, let's use the example of a man who wants to build a business, or a woman who wants to build a business, right? You've got this person, they want to build a business, they want to make it successful. And so they're trying to get customers, and they keep failing, and I didn't get any customers today. Oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, I did this. Maybe I didn't speak to enough people. Okay, tomorrow I'll speak to a few more people. And then the next day comes and they spoke to all these people, but I still didn't get any customers. Why is that? Or maybe because I didn't speak to people in the right tone, in the right tonality. So the next day they fix their tonality and they speak to the same amount of people and they say, I still didn't get any customers. I wonder why that was. Maybe my offer isn't good enough. Okay, I'll fix the offer. Okay, it's the fourth day now, or the third or fourth day. I don't even know what number it's up to, but it's a day where they've made these adjustments and now they're continuously moving forward, and then they still don't get any customers. And they're like, why? I fixed the amount of people I was talking to. I fixed my tonality. I fixed my offer. Why are people still not wanting it? Okay, maybe the next day I'm going to speak to their values instead of speaking to my values. Oh wow, on the fifth day I got my first customer. Something worked here. I'm going to improve again. So these micro failures, which lead to micro adjustments, which inevitably lead to success, but you need to be willing to expose yourself to those micro failures initially. If you're scared of failure, and if you think that failure is embarrassing and it's the worst thing ever, and you just don't ever want to experience that, you will literally prevent yourself from experiencing success because you're not even willing to experience the failures in the first place. Look at my YouTube channel for an example, right? I think I've posted now somewhere around the 300 video mark, right? Including shorts. If you scroll down, right to like my first videos, they were fucking terrible, right? They were literally like filmed on my webcam from my computer, and they were real glitchy, and I didn't really know how to speak properly to the camera, and they weren't that good. And you know, even now still, I'm still very early in the YouTube game. Like I've got like 97 subscribers now or something like that, which is, you know, I'm very grateful for each and every one of you, but it's in the grand scheme of things still very small, and I'm still very much so starting out in my perspective. And every single day I come on here and I record these videos and I make micro adjustments, you know. Recently I upgraded my camera equipment. That was a little adjustment because I was like, my camera quality isn't good enough. I have been working on my speed of like how I speak. I don't like, at times I used to speak way too quick, so I'm trying to slow that down a little bit because I know when you can talk a little bit slower, the people can understand your message better and you can get the point across, right? And now I'm hyper conscious of how quick I'm talking. But the gist is that I'm making micro adjustments, but through that, I'm also failing, like relentlessly. I'm failing in everything I do. And if I'm not failing, I know that I'm not outside of my comfort zone. You know, take my coaching, for example. I am exposing myself to ideas and concepts and just certain books, which I genuinely don't understand. When I read these books, I'm failing every day. I'm like, I don't know what that word is. I don't know what this guy's talking about. I don't understand any of this. But through these failures, I learn, because then I work it out. Oh, he's talking about this, he's referring to this. This is what he's pointing to. This is why that affects this. And so through the failures, I'm also learning in that regard. I literally seek out failure. I seek to fail. I know that might sound counterproductive, like we're taught to chase success, but realistically speaking, when you chase failure in the sense of expanding your current capacity and living outside your comfort zone and continuously trying to push for more, when you're actually pushing for that growth and you're seeking that discomfort and you're very okay with failure, success is like something that is almost inevitable. If you continuously progress on a specific timeline or a specific goal set, it's only a matter of time until you become undeniable. It's only a matter of time until you cultivate a degree of mastery, which is literally like beyond what you could have even comprehended. Riding a bike is another great example. When someone rides a bike, right? First time they get on, they wobble all over the place, they fall over. Second time they ride a bike, they wobble all over the place, they fall over. Third time, they might wobble a little bit less, but they still fall over. Fourth time, they wobble a little bit less again, but they still fall over. Fifth time, hey, they might not wobble as much now, but they still fall over at the very end. The sixth time, or seventh time, they're like, oh, okay, their wobbles are gone now they can ride a bike. But if they gave up on that first time they picked up the bike, they would have never experienced the seventh success. Okay, so when it comes to you and your personal goals, I don't want you to allow failure to discourage you. You are going to fucking fail. That is the reality of it. So if you go into any endeavor thinking you're not going to fail, you are delusional. You actually are. You are going to fail. You are going to fail often. You are going to fucking fall on your face and everything will feel like it's impossible. But through that process of failure, through that process of not hitting the mark and those micro adjustments you make, you will eventually succeed. So the core principle here, the core lesson is your relationship to failure. It needs to be positive. You need to actually be okay with failure. Not only just okay, but you need to love it. You need to realize that every time you fail, it's an opportunity to learn, to grow, to get better. Anytime I fail at something or I don't know how to do something, I'm like, fuck yeah. Fuck yes. Okay, I failed here because now I have an opportunity to learn. I have an opportunity to get better. And this failure is the stepping stone to my future success. It's honestly how I see it. It wasn't always like this. I very much so, when I was younger, would allow failure to discourage me. You know, I would feel like, oh, you know, I failed, blah, blah, blah. This just isn't for me. A great story on this is actually the first event I ever captured. For those who don't know, I run a media business now. We specifically focus on businesses, brands, and events, photo, video, that sort of thing. I'm mainly these days in the like a director position where I have photographers and videographers that shoot for me, and I sort of just manage things, but every now and then I still shoot an event or like a business brand type deal. Anyway, the first time I ever shot an event, up until this point, I probably shot over 1,000 events, okay, like now, speaking now. But the first time I ever shot an event, I fucked up everything. Honestly, all the photos were trash. I didn't distribute them to the clients in the set time. I just wasn't that good in social environments. Literally everything that could have fucked up did fuck up. And I remember literally going home and being like, events aren't for me. I'm not doing this. You know, this was a complete failure. It was a complete write-off. Anyway, got a message like 5 days later, someone else wants me to shoot their event. And I'm like, fuck, fuck. I said I wouldn't do this because I fucked up, I failed. But I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give this second event a go, but I'm just gonna learn from it, okay? The reason my photos were messed up the first time was because I had these settings wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna fix the settings. The reason I couldn't distribute it properly was because I didn't have this specific software, or I didn't, understand how to edit in the right time frame, etc. So I fixed that as well. Third thing was I wasn't that good socially, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna learn how to be good socially, and the best way to do that is to literally be social. So I started building up that skill set as well. And so through the initial failures, I made micro adjustments, which inevitably led to the progression of my ability to capture an event to an extremely high standard. 1,000 events later, I'm a fucking professional at it. Genuinely, like, I am a weapon at capturing events. That's not me being fucking cocky, it's just the truth. I'm really, really good at capturing events. I've mastered all elements of it because I've done so many. And so if I was to give up at the first time, the first event I ever captured, none of the latest success that I experienced and am experiencing would have ever happened. So that's the lesson here. You need to take your failures, which are inevitable. You need to get the lessons from them. You need to learn from them, make the micro adjustments, and then get better. Don't allow them to cause you to feel discouraged and stop you on your path. You can have whatever you want in this life, but you need to be willing to fail early, often, and forward. Every time you fail, it's an opportunity to learn. Every time you fail, and it's an opportunity to grow. So I want you to now, while listening to this or watching this, I want you to just think of something that you have failed at in the past, which made you feel discouraged and led you to stop the pursuit of that thing. Just think about it. Think about what that is for you. You've probably got something that's popped in your head right now. Understand that if you had a better relationship with failure, that wouldn't have stopped you, but it would have rather improved you and caused you to get better. Whatever that thing is, whatever it was that you failed or didn't hit your mark, understand that you can take it as a lesson, you can learn from it, and you can get better. Okay? So moving forward, that's what I want you to do. Anytime you fail, anytime you experience a setback or anything like this, instead of allowing it to destroy you and, discourage you and cause you to stray off the path, I want you to say, no, this is a failure, yes, but I'm going to learn from it, I'm going to make micro adjustments, and I'm going to get better. And every time you fail, you're presented with a new opportunity to get better. So failing is actually an awesome thing. Anytime I fail, I'm like, okay, cool. What did I do wrong? And what can I do better? And if you have that relationship to failure, I can guarantee you will progress, because failure is inevitable. But your discouragement from said failure does not have to be inevitable. It can be a choice. And it all depends on your relationship to it. So guys, if you got value from this video, if you had some realizations, what I want you to do is apply what you learned, okay? So analyze yourself, analyze your past failures, think about what you're currently, endeavoring to achieve right now. Think about the failures you've experienced, the failures you might experience, and just think about how you can learn from them and grow from them. Remember, failures are stepping stones. It's not an end destination, and they are an opportunity to grow if you can use them as a way to micro adjust to further align you with the success you're after. Guys, if you like the video, give it a like, comment below what you think, share it with your friends, and if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. Thank you, and I will see you on the next one.